Hi students, we are going to learn a new chapter, chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. Chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. Chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. We all know about plants. Plants are, here we learn about the classification, grouping of plants, grouping of or classification of plants. Plants are usually grouped into herbs, shrubs, then trees, creepers and climbers. Plants are usually grouped into shrubs, herbs, then trees, creepers and climbers. Creepers and climbers. We all know that from our surroundings we can see so many types of trees, so many types of plants. Okay, some plants are small, some are big, then while some are just patches of green leaves on the surface of the ground or the surface of the soil. We can see these types of plants from our surroundings, and also we can see different types of flowers, different types of flowers. They are different in colors, then smell, etc. And also we can see different types of fruits, like then grapes, then apple, then orange, then we can see jamun, etc. are from our surroundings. Then these all are different, the fruit, flowers, leaves, then stems, then their roots are also different in different plants. So here, getting to know plants. In this lesson, in this chapter, we learn about or we discuss about plants. How to know about plants. Getting to know plants. Here plants are usually grouped into different types. Plants are usually grouped into herb. First one, herb, shrubs, then trees, then creepers, herb, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. Okay, the plants are grouped into herb, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. Once again, herb, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. What are herbs? The plants of herbs are they are soft, then green and weak stems. The herbs are soft, they are seen in green color, then they have weak stems, Once again, about herbs are soft. If we touch the herbs, they are soft in texture. Then we can see the herbs in green color. They are in green. They have weak stems. So then next one is shrubs. What are shrubs? The shrubs, they are bushy and shrubs are bushy. Then they have hard stems. The herbs have weak stems and the shrubs have a hard stem. Then that do not bend easily. The herb, if we pick out a herb, we can bend the herb easily, but the shrubs have hard stems, so we cannot bend the stems of shrubs easily. It is very hard. Okay, these are plants with the stem branching branching out near the base. We can see that the shrubs have a property. They have branches. The shrubs have branches. These branches are from the base of the plant. These branches are drawn out from the base of the plant. Base of the plant. These are the properties of shrubs. Once again, about herb. Herbs are soft in touch. They are green in color. They have weak stems. Then about shrubs. Shrubs are bushy. Then they have hard stems. Then the shrubs cannot bend easily. The herbs can be bent easily because it have weak stems. Then we learn about trees. Trees are big plants. What about trees? Trees are big plants. Then which have a tall and strong stem. Tall and strong stem. Than the herb and the shrubs. The trees have a tall and strong stem than shrubs. Then the stems have branches. If we can see a tree, the tree have a tall and strong stems. Then in a tree we can see so many branches. In the upper part of a tree we can see so many branches. Then in shrubs we can see branches on the base of the plant. Branching out near the base. Then in this tree we can see the branches on the upper part of the tree. Then above the ground. Then the trees are lived for many years. The herbs and shrubs have short lifespan. But the trees live in many years. Then we learn about creepers. Then creepers are the plants which creep on the ground and spread out. And spread out. Spread out. The creepers are the plants they are creep on the ground and spread out. Example for creepers we can see from our surrounding are pumpkin, then ash gourd, then watermelon, then snake gourd, then bitter gourd. These all are creepers because they creep onto the plant. Of these are creep on the ground and spread out on the surface of the soil or surface of the earth. Then we learn about climbers. Climbers have weak stems. Climbers also have weak stem. And cannot stand straight. The climbers cannot stand straight. That cannot stand erect. The climbers cannot stand erect. Then they take the support of other trees to stand straight. And they climb on other trees. It take a support of other trees and climb on them. Example P. Then grape, etc. are examples for climbers. pea plants. So they are called the climbers. They have weak stem. They cannot stand erect. That means they cannot stand straight. Then because it have a weak stem and they take support of other trees and climb on them. Etc. for climbers are pea. Then pea and grape are example for climbers. Okay, all of you understood about the grouping of plants. We know that from our surroundings we can see different types of plants. Some plants are different in their leaves, then different in their stems, then different in their flowers, fruits, roots, etc. It's their height, etc. Okay, so the plants are usually grouped into herb, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. Herb, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. Herbs are the plants which are soft and they can see in green color and the stems are weak. The stems of herbs are weak. Then we learn about shrub. The shrub is bushy and its stems are hard. So stems are harder than the herb. Then we learn about trees. The trees are tall and strong stem. The trees are tall and they have a strong stem. Then we can see the branches. In shrubs we can see the branches are grown out near the base. But in trees we can see so many branches. These branches are present on the upper part of the tree above the ground. Then we can see that the trees are lived for many years. But the shrubs and the herbs have short lifespan. Then we learn about creepers. What are creepers? Creepers are the plants which creep on the ground and they spread out on the ground. They creep on the ground and also they spread on the ground. Example for creepers are pumpkin, watermelon, ash gourd, snake gourd, bitter gourd, etc. are example for creepers. Then next we learn about climbers. What are climbers? Climbers are the plants which have weak stems. Climbers are the plants which have weak stems. They cannot stand erect. They cannot stand straight. They take support of other trees and climb on them. Example for climbers are pea and grape. All of you understood about the classification of plants? Okay, next we move on to the next topic, parts of plants. Parts of a plant. Parts of a plant. A plant have two systems, root system and shoot system. Root system and shoot system. The root system is present on the the root system consists of the root. That root is present under the ground. Then shoot system is the parts of a plant which present above the ground. The parts of a plant which present above the ground, it includes in shoot system. The root system consists of the roots of plants which can see under the ground. Then root system. The root system means the root and its branches make the root system. The root and its branches make the root system of a plant. Then there are two types. There are different types of root system. Tap root system fibrous root system, taproot system. Then taproot system, fibrous root system, lateral roots, etc. are different types of root system. What are the different types of root system? Taproot system and fibrous root system. Here we learn about taproot and fibrous root. Taproot and fibrous root. Once again, parts of a plant. The parts of a plant consist of two systems, root system and shoot system. Root system consists of the root and its branches of a part. The root can be seen under the ground. The root is present under the ground, under the soil. Then the root system consists of different roots, taproot and taproot, fibrous root and lateral roots. So here we learn about taproot and fibrous root. Then first we learn about taproot. Taproot means it is formed by the baby root. It is formed by the baby root, means radicle. The taproot is formed by the baby root which comes out from a germinating seed. The taproot comes from a baby root. The baby root comes out from a germinating seed. It is the main or primary root arise from the lower end of the stem. The taproot is the primary or the main root arise from the lower end of the stem. Once again we learn about taproot. The taproot is the primary root. Taproot is formed from a baby root. It is a baby root. That baby root is come from a germinating seed. The baby root comes from a germinating seed, and also the taproot is a primary root. Taproot is a primary root. Next we learn about once again about the taproot. Taproot is a baby root. It comes from germinating seeds. The taproot comes from a baby. It is a baby root and it comes from a germinating seed. Then it is a primary root. The taproot is a primary root. Main primary root. Okay. Next we learn about fibrous root. Fibrous root means a bunch of roots arises from the base of the stem. A bunch of root arises from the base of a stem is called a fibrous root. Fibrous root is a bunch of root. Bunch of root arises from the base of a stem are called a fibrous root. Once again about taproot and fibrous root. Taproot is a baby root that comes out from the germinating seed, and it is a primary root. If we can see, or if you listen here, we can see the root system is present under the soil. We can see that if we dip a seed into the soil, after 2 days we can see that the seed grow. So first of all, the root of a plant comes out from a germinating seed. It is the primary root. So it is called taproot. The primary root is called taproot, or it is called as a baby root. Then next we learn about fibrous root. What is fibrous root? Fibrous root means if a plant have a bunch of root that are called fibrous root. Bunch of root are called fibrous root. All of you listen, in your textbook page number 50. iron. The picture of a taproot and a fibrous root is given. Taproot is a primary root. It is also called a baby root. It comes from a germinating seed. Then we can see a fibrous root. A fibrous root means a bunch of roots. We can see a group of roots means a bunch of roots that are called a fibrous root. Okay, all of you understood about taproot and a fibrous root? Yes, it is fibrous root. Fibrous root. Okay. Next, functions of root system. What are the functions of root system? How the roots helps a plant? Roots absorb water and nutrients from the soil, and it gives to the stem, and the stems gives the water and nutrients from the soil to the leaf for preparing food. Once again, what are the functions of a root system? How the roots helps a plant for their growth of a plant. First, the roots absorb water and nutrients. Roots absorb water and nutrients from the soil. Then roots absorb water and nutrients from the soil. Then roots help a plant to stand erect. Then third function, roots check the soil erosion. Roots helps soil erosion. Roots prevent soil erosion. Next, roots store food. Then the roots have prop roots, the supporting roots. It gives support to the main roots to stand straight. Okay, these are the functions of a root system. What are the functions of a root system? The roots helps. We know that the roots absorb water and nutrients from the soil, and it gives to the stem, and the stems gives the water and nutrients from the soil to the different parts of the plants. And also it gives water and nutrients from the soil to the leaf for preparing food. We know that leaf is the kitchen of a plant. The leaf prepare food for their survival. Okay, next, the roots helps a plant to stand erect. Then the roots prevent soil erosion. Then the root helps the plants to store food. The roots helps the plant to store food. All of you understood the functions of a root system? Okay, next we learn about shoot system. Okay, the shoot system, the part of a plant which can be seen above the soil, which is grown above the soil is called a shoot system. The shoot system consists of leaf, flower, then fruit, stem, leaf, flower, fruit, stem, then branches, bud, seeds, seeds, etc. These all parts included in shoot system. The shoot system means the shoot system consists of leaf, flower, fruit, stem, branches, bud and seeds. These shoot system, we can see this shoot system above the soil or above the ground. Above the ground. Okay, next we learn about leaf. Next we learn about leaf. Next we learn about leaf. We know in your textbook page number 55 we can see a picture of a leaf. We can see picture of a leaf. A leaf consists of a flat surface. A leaf consists of a flat surface. That flat surface is called a lamina. That flat surface is called a lamina. Then we can see a petiole. Petiole means the leaf can be attached to the stem. Leaf can be attached to the stem. That part is called a petiole. That part is called a petiole. Then we can see a stem. We can see a stem. These all are the different parts of a leaf. These all are the different parts of a leaf. So all of you listen here. This is a leaf. This is a leaf. Then we can see a flat portion, flat surface. This flat surface is called lamina. This flat surface is called lamina. Then we can see a petiole. That petiole is connect the leaf to the stem. That petiole is connect the leaf to the stem. Okay. Then we can see a stem in a leaf. All of you listen here. Then the flat portion is called lamina. The flat portion is called lamina. Then the stem that connect the leaf to the stem is called petiole. Petiole. Then this is called a stem. This is called a stem. These are the different parts of a leaf. Okay, then a leaf is a flat and green structure. What is the color of a leaf? We can see the all leaves, not all leaves. We can see leaves are in green color. They are in green color. Then, first one, petiole. About petiole. Petiole is a stalk of the leaf. Petiole is a stalk of the leaf. Stalk of the leaf. Then which it join to the stem. Then the petiole helps the leaves to join in the stem. The petiole helps the leaves to join or attach to the stem. So petiole is a stalk. It helps the leaf to join or to attach to the stem. Then about lamina. Next, leaf lamina. The leaf lamina means the flat green portion. The flat green portion of a leaf is called lamina. The flat green portion of a leaf is called lamina. Then we can see different veins in a leaf. We can see different veins in a leaf. These lines are called veins. We can see on the lamina different lines. We can see that these lines are called veins of a leaf. Veins of a leaf. Veins of a leaf. Then these veins are not same in all leaves. Some veins are seen in parallel. Some are, we can see that in reticulate manner. Some are in parallel position. Some are in reticulate. That means in a slanting line. Right, slanting line. We can see the veins of leaves. What if you understood about a leaf? Leaf is a part of shoot system. The shoot system consists of different parts of a plant. Then the shoot system includes the different parts of a plant. Parts of a plant we can see above the soil. We can see above the soil. The different parts of plants that includes the shoot system are leaf, then flower, leaf, flower, fruit, then branches, stem, buds, then seeds, etc. are the different parts included in shoot system. Then next we first we learn about leaf. Leaf is a green colored structure present on the plant. Green colored structure present on the plant. Then different parts of a leaf. The leaf consists of lamina, petiole, stem and veins. The petiole is a stalk of the leaf. Petiole is a stalk of the leaf which helps the leaf to join. It helps the leaves to attach to the stem. Then lamina is a flat green portion of the leaf. Lamina is a flat green portion of the leaf, and we can see so many veins on the leaf. We can see so many veins on the leaf. All the veins are not same in all leaves. The veins are different in different leaves. Some veins are we can see in parallel position. Some veins are in reticulate position. Next we learn about venation. So here all of you listen here. Then lamina is the green flat structure of a leaf is called a lamina. Then veins are we can see inside the lamina. Then we can see a stem that is attached to the petiole. We can see a stem that is attached to the petiole. Okay, all of you understood what we learned in this class? We learned about getting to know plants. So plants are usually grouped into herb, shrubs, then trees, creepers and climbers. Herbs are green in color. They are weak and they can be bent easily because their stems are very weak. Then we learn about shrubs. Shrubs are bushy. Then their branches are grown up on the base of the plant or near the base of a plant. Then we learn about trees. Trees are tall and strong and they have strong stems. Then their branches are grown out on the upper part of the plant from the ground. Then the trees are living many years, but the shrubs and the herbs have a short lifespan. Then we learn about creepers. Creepers are the plants which creep on the ground and spread on the ground. Creepers are the plants which creep on the ground and spread on the ground. Example for creepers are pumpkin, then watermelon, ash gourd, bitter gourd, then snake gourd, etc. are example for creepers. Next we learn about climbers. Climbers are the plants which have weak stem, so it cannot stand erect. It takes the support of other trees or other plants to climb on them. Example for climbers are pea, grapes, etc. Next we learn about the different parts of a plant. So the different parts of a plant can be classified into two systems: root system and shoot system. The root system consists of the different types of roots and their branches. Then the root system consists of different roots: taproot, fibrous root and lateral roots. The taproot is a baby root. Taproot is also called a baby root. That baby root comes out from a germinating seed. The baby root comes out from a germinating seed. So it is the primary root of a plant. Taproot plant. Then we learn about fibrous root. The fibrous root are a bunch of roots are called fibrous root. Fibrous root. Okay, next we learn about shoot system. The shoot system means the parts of a plants which present above the ground are called shoot system. The different parts included in shoot system are the leaf, stem, branches, flower, fruit, buds, then seeds, etc. are the different parts which included in shoot system. Next we learn about leaf. The leaf is a green portion or green structure present on a plant. Then the different parts of a leaf are petiole, veins, lamina, and stem. Petiole is a stalk which helps the leaf to joining the stem. Then what do you mean by lamina? Lamina means the green flat structure of a leaf are called lamina. Inside the lamina, we can see the network of small, narrow, tube-like structure that is called a vein. Veins on both the sides of the midrib. That means we can see that a long line in the middle of a leaf. That is called midrib. Okay. Then from the midrib we can see a network like narrow tube-like structure. That narrow tube-like structure is called veins. Once again, we can see a green flat structure on a leaf is called a lamina. Inside the leaf, we can see a small network of tube-like structure from the midrib. Midrib means the central vein of a leaf is called midrib. Then from the midrib we can see small narrow tube-like structure on either side of the midrib. That is called a vein. Then petiole means a stalk that joining the stem. That is called a petiole. Okay, all of you understood what all things we learned? Okay, next we move on to the next topic, venation. Leaf venation. Okay, next we learn about leaf venation. What do you mean by leaf venation? Leaf venation means the design made by veins on a leaf. Is called leaf venation. The leaf venations are two types. First, reticulate venation. First one, reticulate venation. First leaf venation is reticulate venation. Second one is parallel venation. Reticulate venation means the veins we can see on a leaf from the midrib. It is a network of tube-like structures. From the either side of a midrib. That venation is called reticulate venation. Then parallel venation means the veins of a leaf are arranged parallel to one another. Such type of venations is called parallel venation. All of you listen. it is a leaf. Then we can see a green like flat structure, that is lamina. Then we can see a main vein, that is on the middle of the leaf, that is called the midrib. From the midrib we can see narrow tube-like structures on either side of the midrib, that is called reticulate venation. That is called reticulate venation. Okay. Then we can see the parallel venation on grass leaves. We can see the parallel venation on grass leaves. So here is the leaf of grass. We can see the veins. We can see a central vein, that is midrib. Then we can see small veins on either side of the midrib, that is parallel to one another. So it is called a parallel venation. Then it is parallel venation. In grass leaves we can see the veins are arranged parallel to one another to the midrib, that is called a parallel venation. And another leaves we can see from the midrib a narrow tube-like structures on either side of the leaves, that are called reticulate venation. These are the two types of venations we can see on different leaves: reticulate venation and parallel venation. Okay, parallel venation we can see on grass leaves. All of you understood what we learned today? We learned about herb, shrubs, then trees, creepers, climbers. Then we learn about the different parts of plants, root system and shoot system. Then we learn about different parts of leaf, lamina, petiole, then vein, midrib, stem, etc. Then we learn about leaf venation. There are two types of leaf venation: reticulate venation and parallel venation. Then all of you read your text more and more times. Then write your notes properly. Then maximum utilize your time for watching videos and writing notes. Then after writing your notes in your notebook, then take a photo and send it to me. Okay, thank you.